If Justice Scott said that's it.
No.
He goes live and Scott just goes, I peed.
No, unfortunately. So, you guys, he leads you into an elevator, which by elevator, like, you got him enter into a ship port. It's a lot bigger than just, you know, a tiny little space. Also, I accidentally played some, like, real jazzy music, and I'm just gonna stick with it for now. You know, it's a jazzy crime world.
If Jason is next to this guy has his arm on him, like, yeah, I'll walk in.
This guy has his arm on Jason, and like the two other guys, when you get in, are like kind of standing by. You know, you get in, the elevator door, like, which is more or less like a blast door, goes like, and then you start like rumbling downwards. They're staying like right beside the door.
I want to stand as close to Jason as possible at this point. Then.
Sure.
Okay.
It's like this really awkward lift.
Yeah, it's like he's also stopped talking as well. He's just sort of like there with his hand on your back, like.
Okay, this is
and
really
he's
awkward,
close enough
then.
to you that you can smell his beard.
Ooh.
Yeah.
What does it smell like, though? Sandwiches?
Like a guy, if you can smell his beard when he's talking to you, like that smell. It's never
Like
a good one.
He ate mayo on a sandwich a couple weeks ago and just hasn't washed it.
Yeah.
since.
Yeah.
Whoa, hold on. People use scented oils on their beards.
No,
They smell
exactly.
quite
But
lovely.
But he doesn't.
There's a thing called toad, Scott.
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
Maybe
Like if he
maybe
said-
this. Listen, there are some
smell
people
his-
that look like dirty people that have very nicely scented
I mean,
beards.
I mean, some people. The other two look very.
We
neat.
call them
The
hipsters.
It's not lavender oil.
Not lavender
other
oil,
people
yeah.
look very neat. He's just a mess.
Mountain men.
Mountain man.
The original hipsters. True hipsters.
Okay, so is there anything you because you kind of made it sound like you might react while you have these guys while you have him in an enclosed space.
I'm standing here waiting to react in case anything happens.
I'm just gonna be like, so where are we heading? You know, a good bar or two here, I'm guessing.
I know just about every bar in this damn city.
Oh really? Going to the best then? Better be.
Now I'm paying. You going to the shithole.
Do you pay for every newcomer?
No, I like the cut of your ship. It's smart. It's pretty looking even from the outside. Like a lot of these fish flying around here.
Well, don't get your hopes up, because you probably won't be going on it.
I ain't in. I've set myself to a life in the cold, like everyone else in this dump. I mean, some of you ship in, ship out, but not me. And then there's like a as it hits the ground floor and opens up to. Actually, one of the people at the door walks over, like walks past Rain, like it would say excuse you, but he didn't. Presses a different control pad, and the other side of the elevator opens up to a city streets. They're coated in snow, but in some areas, like, enough steam and heat, like, melts down to, like, metal below. It's very busy with people who are all this same sort of, like, neon spacer. There's a lot of, even though it's not actually that late in ship time, which most people live by, even if you're not on those worlds, they don't seem to care so much here. There's people partying, there's people drinking on the streets, there's a drug deal going on, like, right by you. Like, it's very crazy and very intense. The thing is, with a lot of people who spend a lot of time in space, when they do reach a dock and they're going to stay in place for a while, they really let themselves go. They go and enjoy time in the club, they go and do things that they want to do, they go and eat good food. This is an entire city of those people who have a different moral compass than most people. When you're down there, the evidence of it's not like you're immediately getting shot, it's just there's this level of violence and threat in the air to especially people like you who kind of don't belong.
Yeah, well, it's like you can be just as friendly with everyone here as you would everywhere else. Just they
Be
might
aware.
kill you.
Yeah, exactly.
So I guess I would ask the guy, so you said we're going to the shittiest bar, what's the name?
It's so shitty it don't have a name. It's just one of those booze holes, you know? And he starts like he gives like Jason a big push. and starts walking.
Sounds like you're just taking us to a warehouse to murder us.
Well, that depends if you've got anything worth stealing on you. I mean, it's not stealing, it's, what's the word? Salvage. Yeah, it'd be salvage if you were dead. And then he,
Right.
starts leading you through the snow, down some stairs. Now this is where you start to notice, Davis, what I meant, where it's like, it has an okay atmosphere, where the air is thick, but there's, like, oxygen, breathable oxygen being pumped from the ground of the city as well. So in the city, it's, like, perfectly livable. Outside of the city, you would probably be better off with a vac suit, but you'd be able to live with it for a time. It would just do bad things. You'd live. You probably would, you know. So, you start heading, he heads you down some stairs, down to like a side area which has like a beer, like, sign, and like pushes it open. It opens up to like a dingy, dirty room that has like a pool table and a bar, and like one person slumped over the bar, and like that's about it. And a bartender, of course. There's like also very clearly like a back room there. That has like bars on its like little window and everything. He's like, alright, I want 7 drinks. It's like the person at the bar's like, what the fuck do you want for these drinks? And it's like, I just fucking booze. I don't give a fuck. Like throws a credit chip in that direction. He's like, what'd you find? Like,
I'd actually walk up to the bar like as he like did that and be like, make mine a Shirley Temple.
It's non-alcoholic.
one Shirley Temple.
Do they have
like,
grenadine?
He gets like a com pad that's like
Do they have soda?
attached here and is like, the closest one as I can do. And then starts like mixing and gives you something that's not a Shirley Temple.
I love it.
You know. If you go like, do you ask like, do you have soda, or you just sort of?
No, I just accept what it is.
No, I mean like, does Davis? Oh, that was a Scottism. Never mind.
That was a Scottism.
It's hard to tell sometimes because Scott's characters also say dumb shit. The other drink that's poured for the lot of you is like a not quite a shot glass, not a pint. It's like a sort of small glass of a murky brown liquid, and it's murky. It's a murky brown liquid. It smells pretty strong. Some kind of like moonshiny sort of thing, but like not even like it's weird. Whatever it is, it seems drinkable because one of the thugs immediately like drinks like downs the entire thing, and the other guy's like, "You're meant to savor it," and he's like, "I'll savor your mum."
I'll take a sip and then. So,
Courtesy sip when someone buys something for you. That's what you do.
what was your name?
I don't.
My name's Donnie.
Donnie, Jason. Nice to meet you.
Even your name's pretty and fancy. Where the fuck are you all from?
I like give the guy like an up and down look, but I don't answer, and then I turn to Jason and I say, I think this guy has a crush on you.
I mean, I could crush him in a fight if I needed to. I bet.
Yeah, probably, but you have spent a long time touching me.
You know, some people just need a little push. I don't want you running away now. 'Cause like I said, your ship's real fancy. You know, it's better than a lot of ships that come by here. I mean, sometimes we get some pirates who are pretty big and about, but you don't mess with big names.
I'm gonna pull on him.
Like what?
I'm gonna pull my pistol.
No, you do that, and he's like, no, relax. We're all friends here. I'm just trying to ask about maybe some sort of business proposition.
You say big names. Do you mean the Merchants Guild?
Give me a talk check. Charisma. Or strength, if it's better for you, but I think it is.
All my stats suck except for 2.
Yep. Like a real
Sounds like
human.
Scott.
Yeah.
And those aren't even that great.
I mean, if you want
Oh, hold on, wait a second. Oh, because my talk is a -1. That's why. Okay.
I mean, there's merchants on the world. I don't know. But with a ship like that, I don't care about what's on Albert. I mean, I care about what's beyond. I mean, we're all pirates here. Most of us have been out and about. I mean, that one there. I mean, he was born here, which is why he's all fucked up in the head. But most of us been out and beyond. Sometimes we're stuck here. I'm just sort of asking, just sort of thinking, just sort of asking a question, just sort of gonna put it out on the table here.
Spit it out, Donnie.
You could take me and my men somewhere else. No, what about the big blue marble? What about Pike?
What if we told you there's only enough space to take one of you?
Then I'm gonna fucking go and leave these bastards in the dust. And they're like, why would you do? We've been helping you for years. Like, yeah, but I'm in charge. And I'll send someone else to get you again. Probably. But it's all
I don't think this guy knows anything.
Yeah. I'm gonna say maybe we could find a room. Perhaps move some of that wonderful stuff that we have sitting around, all that incredible storage that we have. We can maybe move it aside and have room for all three of you. You work the comms tower, don't you?
Yeah, when I can, when I need to.
If you proved yourself useful, perhaps we could speak to the captain. At this point, I'm gonna.
You're not the captain?
The gun's not holstered, but
It's like lay it on the bar.
yeah.
Like,
So he says you're not the captain, and I say I'm the closest thing you're going to meet to him unless he lets you aboard the ship.
fuck. Yeah, you talk to your captain. I mean, I'm really
No.
useful, like, and these two, they can shoot their guns, they can stab with their knives.
What I advise for the captain to do, he'll go along with. I'm the XO for the ship. So that being said, if you were able to acquire a certain amount of information for us, then we will be able to extend a courtesy to you.
I see what's going on here. You want a deal for a deal.
Yes,
that's how deals work.
generally.
A deal.
You want a favor for a favor.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you came to this cold, shining crystal of rock to find something out?
And to provide transit for a few lively young chaps.
Now, that's more like what I'm putting down on the table. What are you trying to find? I can fix it up for you, I'm sure.
I look over to Jason.
Can I
Jason?
bring up the registry of the ship? Compad and slide it across. Want any information that you've got from the comm tower with regards to this ship. Any information that goes above and beyond would really help secure you and maybe some of your friends a position on the ship. The captain really can't deal with slackers.
I ain't no slacker. Ain't never been in my natural born life. I can poke around, see what's there. We do keep our records. I mean, just so you know, I ain't gonna try and do no funny business. Maybe one of you should come up on with me. You know, in the interest of good faith and all.
I look around at everybody else and say, I could appreciate that. And I'll step forward.
Alright, you? What's your name?
Davis Nielsen.
Alright, Davis. Let's go. Alright, you two, come. And they're like, one hadn't even finished, like, finishes the drink quickly and...
Whoa, so all
Whoa, yeah.
three of them are going with one bloke?
I'm saying, well, as a sign of good faith, if you're taking him and your men there, you could take me too.
You can come along too, but I don't know if I'll get two of you in the comm towers.
I can hold up my hand and say, you know, it was a long ride to get here. You probably should enjoy that Shirley Temple.
I look at it just like, doesn't look good.
Well, actually, Donnie, we could probably use a hand from your friends there if they can shoot and stab real good. We might have to intimidate someone.
Well, I go where he goes. Look, I go where he goes.
Well, if you guys want a chance at getting on the ship, you're gonna have to prove you're useful as well. Following Donnie won't do you any good.
They're like, kind of like, but I... Donnie's like, what is it that you're trying to suggest? That you're gonna borrow my goons? They're good goons.
Well, you know, I only have the one goon here, and he motions at the pistol. I could do with a couple more.
Alright. You can take one of them. Either of you remember which one of you was James? I'm like, I think that was me. I will stay with the pretty boys. Like, alright, and we'll head up. Alright, Davis, come on! And they start heading out.
I'm gonna holster the pistol now.
These guys with their holsters, like, it's always still entirely visible. It's more just like they like tuck it in their belt or something.
Yeah, mine's like a leg holster, so the pistol is clearly visible.
And Donnie and one of them goes up to the comm tower with you, Davis. The other one's staying around here. So, Davis and Donnie, the best of friends. You get back up in that elevator.
Roll in your character, Davis.
It goes further up than before. And while you're in the elevator, it's like, just so you know, I ain't the kind of man who can be fucked with.
I like straight deals. Very simply, you give us the information that we need so we can accomplish our task, and we provide you transit off of this rock. There's no reason for us to have any form of tomfoolery one way or the other.
Damn right. I ain't no fool or no Tom. Never will be. Then like the elevator's like and opens up to like some hallways, not so much, you know, an actual like near the top of the spaceport it seems, because the windows, you know, you can see it's kind of pretty with the snow and everything. Billboards make it kind of tacky. Walks to a pretty good big room with a whole bunch of computers where people are clearly doing like their comms room. People like him, but it's even clear here that like he's like way messier than and like less professional looking than everyone else in here. The rest of them, why don't you roll a notice check, Davis, with either wisdom or charisma.
Roll for notice me, senpai.
I'll go with charisma. I'm on the page. There we go. Woohoo!
It's real good. So, you immediately notice that pretty much everyone in here, aside from maybe Donnie, seems to be from the same gang. They're wearing similar colors, they act in very similar ways. There's even a little bit of stink eye at Donnie when they're sort of when he comes back in, as if he doesn't so much belong. And especially he brought in another random person, but he doesn't even acknowledge any of them. The colors you notice is a sort of like babyish blue, light blue sort of thing. He brings you over to one of the computers and just starts like, I was gonna say like flicking through, but this is much more of like a hand typing sort of thing. It starts going through ships that have recently docked. It's not even as neat in the comm tower. Like the system isn't even as good as the system you have in your ship. Like,
can you apply a search? Because he has got the registry.
Yeah, he's essentially doing it, but like worse.
Clearly, he's a knucklehead. Can I roll an administer check? Like,
yeah, you could try to roll administer to take over.
Okay. Yeah. Be like, you know what? Let me see if I can make this a little bit easier for us. And then I'll lean in and kind of like take over the keyboard while he's at it, which is one, annoying for him, and two, I can only imagine the smell because he's like breathing in my face now. All right.
He's a stinky man. Takes a lot to be stinky in space. So,
I imagine it doesn't take much at all.
You do that exact takeover and you start like putting in some proper searches. The Pascal, it appears, hasn't been here, or is not in their system. And you even then like, and you look for like, just sort of like a ship with these markings. You're like, doesn't seem to be there. or a sort of cargo vessel that reaches the rest of the specifications. Doesn't seem to be there.
So I'm not speaking quite loudly, but I'm also not whispering either. So I'm just doing my typical mellow, personality or whatever, but speaking perhaps a little bit lower. I say, vessel by the name of the Pascal. That's the name of the ship that we're looking for. It's a free merchant. Very different in design, but similar in size to the Minon. There's no information about that ship arriving here. And then I'll show him on my data pad there the information that I say confirming that they have been here from my end of the information. I say, these two bits of data don't line up, which means one of them has been altered. Is it fair to say that your records could have been tampered?
I mean, I don't think anyone here would do that. He kind of looks at the room, and you feel like people here would do that.
Yep. I say, that's a fair assessment. I say, do you mind if I take the seat for a moment?
Go. You seem to know what you're doing.
Okay. And as soon as he gets up, I sit down. I don't touch the arms on the chair. I'm afraid they're very sticky. And I don't know what you would want me to roll. Is it a no, a notice, administer, whatever? I want to see if I can discover if there are, before the manifest that we had received was clearly missing. But this one is, I imagine, not done as cleanly. If I want to notice that there's clearly chunks of data that are missing.
You're looking for the hole.
I'm looking to see if there is a hole.
Yeah. That would be, again, administer.
Okay. I will roll that again. I'm going to use a party pool of luck.
Nuh-uh.
Don't worry, I'm good enough anyways.
There is a hole.
Yep.
You're looking around, and the thing is with pirates is that actually a lot of them do know their shit. A lot of them are actually pretty good at doing what they do. Actually, it seems a lot of other people here are actually quite good at what you do, because you're overhearing people doing some comm stuff and stuff. Clearly, a good hacker removed all the data of the Pascal ever being here, and it's not like you recover it. You just can clearly notice a ship of this size that was here at the same time that it says it does on your data pad was here, and it was removed. But it wasn't covered up as if it never happened, because it's still this dock was used, stuff like that happened. So it was here, but was covered up and removed by someone who has some skill of programming. But this doesn't take an amazing amount of skill, or even someone in here. But it's probably not a button on the console. It's probably some know-how.
I tap at the computer screen or display, whatever it is, and say, "This dock. How far is it from here?"
That one will be. That's actually just a bit away from where you are, because you're a similar-sized ship going a similar-sized hold.
I have some questions for people that are down there. Do you mind if we retrieve the rest of your and my friends, or do you think that we should leave them to their tasks and you and I go alone?
We can go back to the bar and we can wait for them if you think it's going to be trouble, but you're just asking questions? We can ask some questions.
I'll nod and say, can you lead the way?
And he starts leading the way.
And so while I'm walking in tow behind him, I'm going to do that very obnoxious 2018 people walking down the street and not paying attention to where they're going, just following somebody else.
2018 as if it's the only time that's ever happened.
Nope, it's been going on for 6 years. So,
I bet it happens even before that with some people with newspapers, to be fair.
Oh, you know what? That is a very, very fair thing, and I bet it was worse back then. Because that is a huge thing.
That's exactly what I was imagining. A big guy in a black suit with a white beard.
My people were
the trades are great today.
People weren't driving as fast, and people were more courteous.
And we respected each other.
Yeah, you gave wide berth for that newspaper. Important information. You could trust the media back then. So anyways, I did not copy the data that I just discovered being missing. Instead, I'm furiously trying to type in everything that I remember into my own notes on my own data pad, because I don't want to copy data off that computer.
Your compads do have a chat function, that if they can bounce off free Wi-Fi, essentially, they can talk to each other. So in cities, you have a good chance of being able to message each other. In your ship, you can message each other.
Sure. So then what I would end up doing is messaging to them saying there was no record of the ship being on having docked here on a deeper dive. I was able to discover it was here, but all record of it has been removed, though there is a shadow of that record. I'm heading to the dock that there is I'm heading to the dock where it was located. Send the information to them now.
And it's Dock 11.
Dock 11 now to investigate further. Feel free to join if you can.
All right, you guys. That would have taken some time, but not an incredible amount. I wouldn't even say that whole thing took an hour. What have you guys done since then?
Sat there and drank.
I mean, probably minimal. I think the best thing we could do is learn a little bit about the most active crime family in this area, or the most powerful.
How are you going to do that?
Speak to the barkeep.
Okay. So, how do you approach that? How do you approach that question?
Hey, buddy. Me and my friends here were looking maybe to get a couple of jobs done.
I did hear that you are here to look for something. That is very most people who come into this city, who come to this planet, they're not there to look for something unless the something is, you know, between someone's legs. Or is a chemical you can put pretty much anywhere.
Well, we're a bit stranger than the norm, you know? We come out to do unusual things in unusual places occasionally. So, what we're looking for anyone who might be able to get us a couple of basic jobs, maybe get us in somewhere with someone important.
I don't really know anyone important. I'll be honest with you. Not important people come sling through a place like this too often.
So, when you're walking down the street, there's no one that you see, maybe their markings, maybe the family name, and you know not to mess with them.
Oh, I mean, this whole city is under two banners, more or less. More, but if you worry about the two. I don't worry so much about when folk like this, and he like points to James over there, who's like messing with the jukebox, which is an old school jukebox, sort of thing. I was like, you don't so much mess around when you don't care when people like that make a gang, and you maybe they try and get some money from you, but then the big gangs come and they kill them. So, but it is two people control city most. The Frozen Stars and the Bullet Kings. I mean, I'll be
Stars
honest.
and what was the other one? Sorry.
Frozen Stars and the Bullet Kings.
Thank you.
And then he goes on to be like, and honestly, it is mostly Frozen Stars who control around this zone. I myself, actually, for this little box room, plus places to stay and sleep and store, I pay to them. Be honest, they
protection fee or
protection fee and honestly rent. It's all in one. Very efficient for me, actually.
And they got like markings and such, so we can tell.
Oh, most of them, they wear blue. Most of them are women. Big hair. I don't really know what else to tell you. I mean, gangster walk like gangster.
Do they? I know you said that there's two names. Do they fight one another?
Oh,
Are
all
they
the time. All the nights is a sort of a brap brap boom 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 over in the streets, and then there's all the smaller gangs as well. They're the ones that should do most of the fighting, because the big gangs don't need to do as much fighting, aside from when they're defending themselves or their territory, or they're trying to make someone look stupid for even trying to do something like this. You know, actually, I see, like, I paid this protection money. One time, there was a woman who come in, and she was string out of her mind, and she said that this place belonged to her now, and she tried to take it over, and she had the boomstick shotgun cannon, and then Frozen Stars enforcers came in, and they took her by the hair, and they made her not be stupid. With punchings and beatings.
Sounds efficient.
Can't complain.
Who gets the major cut from the docks?
That's Frozen Stars. They own it. They operate it mostly. Bullet Kings have their own docks. If you have gunship and you need to have fixed, have upgraded or something, you go to one of theirs. They're very good at that. I hear. I mean, I've never been on a ship like that.
Okay. So I'd turn to this. So the Bullet Kings probably bring their own ships through their own docks. So we can assume that the Frozen Stars could be mixed up in this. In which case...
Right.
Well, I mean, we already know from that message that it's these docks, so if these are Frozen Stars docks, yeah, makes sense.
I mean, if we're assuming we've got the message by now, I would say
Yes.
in that case we should
Like you get it like a bit before you start talking about it.
make sure that Davis has as much backup as possible.
Yeah, we should probably get up there then.
Yeah, it's a pretty dangerous place out here. Not good to be alone.
Come on, James, we're leaving.
Yes, let's go. And you head back, get back into the elevator, and you start heading off. Davis, you've already been at the... So the floor has a storage space, dock 13, dock 12, and dock 11. You've already been poking around for a little bit. You're basically going up to that dock, and that dock is actually not empty right now. It has a sort of hodgepodge bandit ship. A lot of times when you see a ship, you can figure out where it's come from. Bandit ships is a little bit harder because, you know, they upgrade them and tinker with them in weird ways and then don't usually smooth them back out again. Again, a similar sort of size to your own. It doesn't look like there's any crew around there at the moment, and it's all locked up.
So I don't really care about the ship that's there right now, and I don't really care about the crew. But is there anybody that works for the dock here or a docking terminal here?
There is definitely a docking terminal here. Looking around, you don't see anyone other than Donnie and the guy Donnie came here with. The other goon.
Is there of my crew? Who's the one that's good with computers?
That's Jason.
I mean, he can do computers, but is he good with
Yes.
computers? Okay, because that's like his tertiary skill, isn't it?
More or less.
I work out as being good because Jason has the +2 on intelligence.
Oh, you get an
In
18
effect, it's
intelligence.
In effect, it's a +2 program.
Jesus Christ, it's a high intelligence.
He's very smart.
Oh, that's the smartest you can be in this game. That is
He's
a fucking
very
genius.
smart.
Yeah. So okay, so
Why is he hanging out with idiots like you guys?
my character's got a 14. I'm also wicked smart because I rolled really shitty stats.
My character's got a 16.
What for intelligence? My character's got a 6.
Oh, there you go.
You're the dumb
I got a
one.
6!
You're
Got a
nice,
16.
though.
You're
So
nice.
That explains things.
so we I go in there. I'm sorry, you said there is a terminal that's in here.
There's a terminal? Yep.
Okay, so and there's no crew, so I'm actually going to kind of look around and see if I can find any bits of information that might. Honestly, this is going to be a cursory look because I do not want to access that terminal. I already know that he's going to be on his way. I don't want to fuck things up. And if there's nobody to speak to, there's very little I can do. So I'm going to look around and see if there's any like markings in that place that, or any like cargo shipment containers or whatever that might carry the symbols or whatever of the merchant guild. But if there's not, then
Give
it's
me
kind
a
of
notice intelligence. Because you are poking around deliberately looking for things.
Mo is poking around looking for things.
Classic Scott.
That's classic spot, Scott.
Classic
Oh,
spot.
Fucked up my own. fucked up
Classic
my own-
spot.
Classic
My own
Spock.
name. My name is Spock.
You are playing a kind of a leader
Very
type who holds their
regimented.
emotions kind of away, but they still have them. You know, not terrible. Not, you know, needed a little bit more science.
The word's tight ass. Okay, he's tight ass.
He's a tight
I always imagined you that way, Scott.
Not for long, Neil.
So, you go and poke around, and you actually do notice. So there's a trick that you've actually learned since you've been on the Magpie, that when ships want to make it look like they're trawling cargo around, they will occasionally fill cargo crates with sand, because it then actually weighs things. When it's scanned outwardly, it looks way more like, you can notice if you're carrying empty boxes. If you don't, your scanners are shit or your person isn't paying any damn attention. This actually looks like a box that's full, and there's boxes of sand that are in here that have just been kind of like dumped here. Like, this is clearly not where you're meant to leave cargo unless you're working with it. They've just been sort of left here. Because actually, if you've been in a better dock, you actually don't have like cargo laying around as perfectly nice chest high cover. This is an exception, but this place is kind of shitty.
Yep, gotcha. And this does have the guilds.
It doesn't have the guilds thing, but if you imagine every crate would have a very simple sort of pad on it, you can be like, they match. This is basically the cargo that was actually documented that was on the Pascal. Not all of it, but some of it. And then when you're noticing around, when you're going around, you actually sort of listen for a little bit longer, and you hear two things. You hear your party coming back in the main room, entering from the other side. You're in the sort of middle of the room, fairly near this ship that's docked, because it obviously, like, the Pascal docked and dumped its stuff and head off, so that it's kind of near where a ship would land. Your group is coming in from one side of the chamber. And the other side of the chamber is a bunch of those women in their blue clothing, wearing the clearly members of the Frozen Stars. Not that you know that yet, unless you pinged to it on the compad, which we probably would have, actually, now that I think about it. When I say that clothing, they're wearing sort of hodgepodges of armor, as you would imagine a raider type proud gang would. Very sort of like neon cyberpunk sexy with big hair and things like that. And one of them, you even sort of you noticed them before they necessarily notice you. I will actually even say with your little notice check.
Okay. I'm not going to pay too close of attention to them. My crew is on the way here anyways. And, no, never mind. I just remembered something from upstairs. When I see them come in, I'm going to say, hey, can you help me look at this over here? And I'm actually, to the guy that's with me, Donnie or whatever, but not his friend, because he doesn't matter. I'm going to say it to Donnie and then, like, go over to part of the crate. And I'm going to kneel down on the other side of the crate, so, like, we can't be seen, kind of like out of sight, and start investigating the side of a box. And he seems like kind of an idiot. So I just feel like I'm looking to see if these markings look like they might come out, just bullshit.
Give me a
to keep him knelt down with me.
Give me a stealth check with a -1, because you're okay. Nah, just a -1 for getting this guy away, because you can still hide and he can still be seen, but the fact that he's there is not advantageous to you. I will allow this to be like stealth intelligence, because it's not like you're diving out of the way, it's just you're more sort of like trying to not be seen intelligently.
-1.
Well, that's pretty
that's
good.
A good thing I rolled well.
We'll see what happens. We will see. The Frozen Star group of women who walk in, they very clearly see the group of you four, and they also see the other goon. The other one of Donnie's, I'm not even going to say friends, sort of bodyguards. And they actually go and are sort of talking to him. And they have a little bit of a language here that Ryaz can pick up on, because it's more the sort of Pike dialect that's just taken to a whole nother level here. Where they're more or less just sort of... And they just start sort of barking at each other. And to Tomaz, it's more or less like a sort of, what are you doing here? Where's your boss and stuff like that. And I'm actually going to roll stealth for fucking Donnie, because you gotta.
Who's clearly a big dexterous
It's not terrible. He rolled an 8. And then these women's do see them. It's like they're yelling at him, and then one of them There's actually 5 of them, and one of them is sort of walking around the struts of this ship that's here, and goes like, "I see the one, the foreigner," and points like directly at Davis. And then they start encroaching. Most of them start encroaching on you. One of them like pushes Donnie's bodyguard and's like, you're just causing shit, and like pushes that away. It's not sort of like a true fight, but sort of like a little bit of like a shove. One of the
See and hear this.
yeah, you're basically walking to this now. You're still a bit of ways away, but you can like yell. You can just talk because there's empty air.
Yeah, I mean, so when they're like, I see the foreigner, I'd be like, Davis, you drunk. Where did you get to? Wandering off with these local ruffians.
I have decent wisdom, but like, I don't know how to play drunk.
You'd have
So
to do
when he
you'd have to
says
do a
that, I'm like,
performance if you were gonna try.
I'll just say, just checking things out.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't even think your character would pretend to be drunk in this situation.
That was my pretending to be. I put inflection of tone.
If your character's actually intending to be to pretend to be drunk, I'm gonna need a performance charisma from you.
Surely it's a -1 for that effort.
Yeah, I'm willing to consider to suffer -1. Absolutely.
I think so. Because if you didn't even say it, it would be like there was a benefit of the doubt. But like,
No, I would give a -1. But I'm golden, boy.
Wasn't it? Can I just point out that's program, not performance?
Oh, it's the same result.
okay,
Right?
if it's the same -1s, then I won't worry about it.
Okay.
Oops.
He brings up a computer and suddenly starts.
Now, funnily enough, you're like, some of them are like, so 4 of them are coming up to you. One of them stayed with Donnie's friend. All of them but the one who saw you first are like, it's just some idiot who came here to drink and they're getting a mess. But the one who's walking over, whose hair is far taller than the rest and like this crazy mohawk, is just like, no, he's poking around after the ship with the fucking, and she's like gets a knife out, and while she does, she like flips it while she does, and starts walking even more, and then even points to Jason, the group of people, is like, you lot stay out of this, we don't need more dead, but you're poking around, and like walks right up to Davis, and it sort of seems like poking the dagger at you, but doesn't go like, just sort of like, it's here.
Okay, so since he's poking the dagger at me, there's I'm unfortunately, escalation is how these things go. So since he has the dagger there, I will gladly unholster my gun, but not point it at him. Mm-hmm. So I unholster, I got it, and I'm holding my son. I'm like, I'm here doing a job.
What is that job, foreigner?
I was hired to look for a missing ship. That's all.
You see Jason just drag his hand down his face and then unholster his pistol.
At that
I'm gonna
point,
start walking toward them.
at that point, she like looks behind, and we'll see what happens
Next week.
next.
But hold on, I didn't say I'm going to retrieve the ship. Didn't say I need I said I'm looking for it.
You're looking
I
for a
say-
ship that they don't want to be found.
That's okay. You just say there's no ship here. Oh, okay. Bye then.
I think
But-
that would work if they didn't see you fucking around with the computer.
Well, not just that, but
It's a
I think
DC
that-
15.
Yeah. So I feel like that's a perfect place to end off here.
yeah.
Damn, I was excited for our first combat.
So,
It's gonna take more than 5 minutes, and so, especially because it's the first
That's what
combat, it
she
starts about
said.
number, which means.
No, it's not.
But thank you for joining us for the first
That's how she
episode
recalled.
of Ardent. Sex jokes, highest form humor. Next week we'll start off with a fight.
Will we though?
Maybe.
Well, I mean, he just said it.
I didn't say roll initiative, so it's still on
What
the
if
table.
we all become pacifists, and next week you're like, we're gonna fight, and then we just don't fight back?
I feel like
We
playing
feel
pacific
guilty.
characters could totally work as Without Number, but you went to a pirate town.
You went to a pirate town because that's where the job took us,
I think we'd
man.
be all right. I think we'd be
And
all
you
right.
don't take that job. The captain took the job, man.
I think we'd be all right on the whole in a pirate town. It's just we're in a pirate town where we're messing with the gang's business.
Yes, you're doing.
It's like-
it's the whole thing. You're
Having
you know.
a rifle would probably be enough of a deterrent for most people.
And I didn't ask if Rain took the rifle with her.
She did.
Oh, come on.
No, but she probably did.
I
Yeah,
thought
she
you
did.
said you did.
She said she took the big gun.
She said
Yeah.
it last time. It was also
Oh.
explicitly said when we were
I'm
here.
pretty sure I said when we were getting off. Well, okay, but yeah.
But I was going to assume you did
It was
anyway.
it was presumed we took the same.
So that's a very valid point because these they don't have big guns. But we will deal with that next week. I hope you all
Whoa,
enjoyed
whoa.
it.
It's not the size of the pistol. It's the way you shoot, buddy.
It's the
You keep
size
telling
of the,
yourself that, Scott.
the size of the
You know what? I will.
You know what's good for the goose is good for the gander. So
I got that. Okay.
that don't spoil your super secret abilities.
Yeah, come on. What the hell?
Super secret.
It was until you. It was literally a secret until you spoiled it.
Is it a secret though?
Chat didn't
That-
know about it, which meant. I mean, I guess it's. I guess something that just people don't know isn't a secret. You have to try and conceal it for it to be a secret.
I'm going to spoil something hardcore. I'm a trained military officer. Okay. So
But
much to
that
get off my
doesn't
chest.
say. That's a different thing. Anyway, we'll be live next week with a fight. But first of all, why don't we start our circle of shame? Starting with my buddy, my man, Neil. How are you? How the hell are you?
I'm good.
You muted
I
yourself.
see how this is.
Oh.
I see how this is. I was just about to
Around me
it comes
are
over the-
familiar faces.
Yeah, I can hold space to temporarily unmute. Okay, there we go. Right, I'm not muted now.
Haven't been like forever.
Okay, good. It
Press your
had
buttons correctly.
had some issues.
That's an understatement.
This is my first time in Stars Without Number, so I was a bit nervous at first, but I'm enjoying it. It's good.
Combat might be a little clunky at first, but that's why
Nah,
we're going to have a
easy
fight
peasy.
quite soon.
No problem. Ian will be slow. Always this.
No, I'll just roll like continuous nat ones or something. It's weird.
Here's hoping.
Way to do it. Yeah, so I'm Neil. I'm one of the players. I played previously in Yavaskir Wednesdays. So if you go back and you watch about that, please do. It's good. There's lots of fun stuff in there. And if you have any questions about the lore, then you can ask me. I also play Yavaskir on Mondays. And this is my first non-D&D tabletop RPG.
Yeah.
You can find me on my Twitter handle, which is on the page at Naghide.
He doesn't tweet.
What is a nag height?
What is an Naghide?
Bless you. Next up is
No
Will.
thanks.
How the hell are you?
I'm doing great. This is also my first tabletop that's not D&D, so that's interesting. Never played Stars Without Numbers. I know. But you can find
Immediately
me.
decided to be an engineer, which is the most complicated thing.
I can handle it.
It's less
Is it
complicated
though?
than being a psionic.
Oh,
It's
the
not.
most
It's not.
complicated.
It is the most complicated thing. It doesn't mean it's very complicated, but it is the
It's
most
not complicated if
thing.
you're creative. It's fine.
You just roll
Everything's
dice.
fine.
Ollie, I do this.
That's not
Um,
at all what I'm referencing because everyone does that. That's the game.
Yeah, that's literally the game. But anyway, you could find me at Will Call Brewing on Twitter, Instagram, all those things, and you could find out about me brewing beer, and because I brew beer, and beer is good. Beer is life.
Speaking of good and life, Ian, how the hell are you?
I am having a good life.
Guess that's all
I
that
am
I
third
can
With
ask.
beer.
I am the third person in a row who has no experience outside of D&D, so we're a great party here. None of us know what we're doing.
Well,
except
that's the
Scott.
thing, you know. There's a lot of good tabletops out there, and it's good to branch out.
And I appear to have managed to make a character that doesn't have much to contribute yet.
You knew that coming into it.
I didn't know the nature of the campaign, but I mean, I'm.
Let me look at your character sheet, see if you have any.
I was gonna say, I think you have a lot to contribute, don't you?
I'm jesting anyway. Yeah, more will come. I'm expecting. This wasn't. Yeah, going to a piratey planet first off was probably not my.
You'd have been really useful if you chirped up been like, "Oh, hey, I can create psionic energy."
Can you though?
I don't know.
It says on the page, natural psychic.
Wow, spoiled. Spoiled.
Again,
sharing secrets.
That's literally the opposite of a secret. It's right there.
It's written literally in metal.
I was a bit.
Yeah.
The fact that everyone else has got commanding officer, medical officer, ship's engineer.
You don't have a job on the ship.
I'm the gunnery officer.
This isn't a big ship. They aren't officially officers. It's just what they call themselves.
Yeah.
Wait, where does it say it? Where are you referring to?
Literally on the
screen.
overlay.
On the overlay.
Oh, I don't watch the overlay. That's why.
Yeah,
That's
I
funny.
know you don't,
Oh.
but it says that it's not a secret because I wanted to give everyone's like rough idea of their character on there.
Yeah.
It's like why Will's character isn't engineering officer because he's not. He's the engineer. But he is on this ship to be a medic, and he is on the ship to command.
Yeah, my medical officer. Obviously, that's not actually my role. I'm comms officer. Medical officer is more to do with our background,
It's
history.
why you. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no,
It's
that's
also
true.
why
I'm
you got on
just
the ship.
anyway. It's like more will come up with my character over the weeks, I'm sure. Anyway, other than that, I am Harvey on Twitter, Discord. Very similar to Neil, I play in a lot of JavaScript games, so you can ask me about that.
A lot of weeby shit.
And I'm into a lot of weeby shit. So don't follow my Twitter unless you.
If you're like anti-anime, don't follow Ian's Twitter. If you're pro-anime, follow Ian's Twitter.
Can you be pro anime without being pro weird anime?
Yeah, absolutely.
But if
It's a slippery slope.
It's a fucking steep drop right as you get your toe in.
I was going to say, if you're anti-weird anime, you probably shouldn't.
I'm gonna watch this nice little anime about like a slice of life humor, and then like 1 week later you're watching that anime where people fight with their butts.
Yeah.
Beautiful. What a beautiful anime. Also, Scott's requested.
Also, did you know, related, before we get to Scott and interrupting Neil, because I don't give a fuck, but there is a petition to get the jiggle physics back in Dead or Alive. The new one isn't going to have them to as much as a good degree, and I think it's really what humanity's all about.
I think that matters to someone a lot, though. I bet there's
at least one person on my Twitter feed.
Some sad person out there.
I'll be honest,
it
won't be Dead or Alive without the just
by this
obnoxious, non-realistic jiggle. Anyway.
What can I say?
Speaking of obnoxious,
worn pop parts in my skivvies. What are skivvies, Scott?
I'm sorry.
What?
Skivvies sounds like a British word.
What are you on about?
My name on Zoom has been changed to I like the taste of warm pop tarts in my skivvies. By our.
So I'm Arnie. You can find me here. I do chill streams. I do game streams. Sometimes I appreciate that. Sometimes I even do art streams, but usually at the moment with my sleep schedule, I'm actually streaming at like the end of my day instead of the beginning for once. I know, right? Which is actually meant this last hour I've been real fucking tired. I don't know if you noticed. But that's me. I am on Scott's Friday show, and
No, you're not. Not this week.
Not this week though.
Because you skipped me, so I couldn't say that.
Yeah,
he tried to
because
let
you were talking about Pop Tarts.
Weird.
I did. I said not a single word about Pop Tarts. Thank you.
That's true. I should have said you were talking about skivvies because you did.
I said it sounded like a British word.
What you should do, though.
Certainly least, Scott.
He's check out Scott's.
Why do I have grey hairs now?
It sounds like a genetic issue. This Friday, no Eberron because I'm going to be in Maine with Wilhelm. We're going to be doing things with people and water stuff. There'll be a lot of water stuff.
Water stuff. That's an advanced kink.
And maybe a stretch Hummer. You know what that means. You know what that means.
I mean, I do in both senses.
I mean, in case you don't, Hummer is an old term for. Never mind.
No, stop it.
Is your
Fine.
Star Wars on later today?
Oh, yeah.
Goodbye.
Bye! See you
Last
all
issue,
next time.
stop.
Hey guys,